Healthcare leaders at Planned Parenthood say protests outside their facility are interfering with public safety. So they've created an ordinance to present to Spokane City Council.
And after some beautiful days this week, I'm tracking big changes in the form of rain or snow. Your complete forecast coming up next.
Sites like Facebook and Twitter have changed how Americans get their news, but are we getting facts or just seeing what our friends are sharing? We dive into that tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here tonight. I'm Whitney Ward. Leaders at Spokane's Planned Parenthood want the city to do more to curb some of the frequent protests outside their building on East Indiana. They claim those protests are interfering with public safety.
So they have created an ordinance they plan to present to City Council. KREM 2 Shayna Waldtower explains how they're hoping this policy will help keep things a little quieter.
Yeah, guys, staff at Planned Parenthood say these protests have become more frequent over the years. They say they're seeing protests outside their building at least once a month. Now they're concerned the noise is getting in the way of their healthcare services. Staff at Planned Parenthood say this noise interrupts their work and the patient experience. It can add an extra level of stress for patients seeking health care.
This is just something that no patient should ever have to go through to get their care. It's really unsafe.
It is against state law to disturb the peace outside of a healthcare facility. Leaders at Planned Parenthood want to make the guidelines more clear within the city of Spokane. They're asking for an ordinance that includes a threshold for what counts as a disturbance, such as staff complaining that the protests interrupt their work. The other point would allow people to file a lawsuit against the protesters if they interfered with their health care. The police department would have to follow these guidelines to determine warnings or noise violations. Officer John O'Brien says police are keeping protests under control in Spokane.
There have been reports of bullhorns, of musical instruments, of horns honking, of cars driving by. We have addressed those with people as they happen, and like I said before, after the warning, there's been compliance.
He says officers are never there to stop the protests, but to have a neutral presence and ensure everyone's safety.
We were never going to make everybody happy all of the time, but we have been very successful in allowing both parties to peacefully assemble and exercise their First Amendment right without assaults or any criminal behavior like that.
O'Brien says the department is working on a presentation to give City Council and explain how their current protocol has been effective. That ordinance will go to City Council for a vote on March 2nd. In the newsroom, Shayna Waldtower, KREM 2 News.
I had lost my sister. Someone I can't back. You don't know what you have done!
Joshua Forrester will spend the next 19 years behind bars after he pleaded guilty to shooting and killing his longtime girlfriend in the Hilliard apartment the day after Christmas.
So shortly after the murder, Forrester told detectives he killed his girlfriend, quote, because I couldn't let her go. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley was at today's sentencing, and Amanda, it sounds like things got pretty emotional at times.
Yeah, Mark and Whitney, the brother of the victim, told the judge he blames himself for not doing something sooner. Other family members who spoke today say the pain of losing Aliana Johnson is still very raw. Now, she was in a 3-year relationship with Joshua Forrester, and they share a 1.5-year-old son. Now, on December 26, Forrester shot and killed Aliana at their Hilliard apartment. Witnesses who heard the gunshots that night say they saw him covered in blood and with a gun in his hand. At the time, he told investigators his girlfriend wanted to break up with him. He later admitted he shot her because he couldn't let her go. In court today, the victim's family told the judge that's not a good enough reason to take her life.
I couldn't believe it. What I was hearing, I sat in silence for hours wondering how someone that says he loves my daughter could murder her.
Why did this happen? Why did it have to be her, you know? I just feel more alone than ever.
After the hearing today, we caught up with the family and they told me they were not happy about the 19-year sentence, even disappointed that he did not apologize for what he did.
He took a life. He should have got life. I wanted him to say that he was sorry for what he done. And then he just stood there. Made me think, yeah, there ain't no remorse.
Forrester did not come forward with a statement today, but his lawyer spoke on his behalf. He told the judge Forrester wanted to accept responsibility for his actions, which is why he chose to plead guilty so quickly. The lawyer said at one point Forrester told him he felt like he deserved to die. Now, in addition to 19 years in prison, Forrester agreed to pay $4,500 in restitution to the victim's family. Right now, Aliana's family tells me they are working to gain custody of her son. Reporting from the Spokane County Courthouse, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you. Well, it has been a beautiful, dry week here in Spokane. We certainly loved it, but looking ahead to the weekend could be quite different.
Yeah, the big question now, will we see rain or snow heading our way? Let's get straight to Tom Sherry in the Weather Center for the answer. Tom?
I think we're going to see both. We're going to start off with rain. That's what we should see tomorrow around this time tomorrow. Won't last long at all. We've got a better chance of snow developing Friday night into Saturday morning and then again Saturday night into Sunday morning. In the meantime, you take a look at the satellite and radar picture. We are high and dry now. And again, we enjoyed just a beautiful day. We'll look for partly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 29. We should see some sunshine for the first part of our Thursday, but then you'll see increasing clouds as that weather system moves in and will give us maybe some rain showers here in Spokane after 4 p.m. and then maybe some snow in the higher elevations of northern Idaho. So 41 will be the high tomorrow. It'll also be 41 on Saturday and 42 on Sunday. And the mountains are going to see a lot of snow at the pass levels, especially late at night and early in the morning. I think the valleys will also get snow as well Saturday morning and possibly again Sunday morning. I'll check the rest of your 10-day outlook coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Tom. Tim Eyman announced this evening he will officially be running for governor of Washington as a Republican. He initially announced that he was going to run as an independent. Eyman helped sponsor that initiative that lowered the price of Washington car tabs to $30.
And speaking of, a King County judge rejected most of the challenge to Washington's $30 car tab initiative. The judge said King County and the coalition of Washington cities failed to prove the measure was unconstitutional on most of their claims, but the judge reserved judgment on 2 issues. The voters approved Initiative 976 in November. It caps most car tab fees again at $30. King County challenged the measure, saying it would eliminate more than $4 billion in funds needed to pay for transit and road maintenance. Right now, the measure remains temporarily blocked. And updated results coming in from last night's special election. So right now, Prop 1 in Central Valley is slightly leading with a yes vote of 51%. That levy would help strengthen special education programs, update technology in classrooms, and add extracurricular activities. It would also add another school resource officer.
And the yes votes for Prop 1 in East Valley also leading right now with 57% of the vote. That levy would go towards educational programs.
And Prop 2 in East Valley is also getting a majority of the yes votes, about 60% right now. That capital levy includes construction projects such as adding several new parking lots.
And we also want to let you know about some new technology that we just got here at KREM 2, and it's going to make it easier for us to give you the latest information on a wide variety of topics. So this time all you have to do is text the word elections to our number 509-448-2000, and then we'll send you a link to the latest results.
It's at the bottom of your screen. We also encourage you to save the number in your phone. That way you can text us anytime you would like. Pretty cool feature.
Yes, it is. All right, you may have spotted this huge plane flying over Spokane this week. It turns out it was the Boeing 777X, the company's newest and largest jetliner.
You asked us what's it doing here in our area, so we sent KREM 2's Tim Pham to find out.
There's no question its arrival at Spokane International Airport caused a lot of buzz. This thing is massive. It can seat more than 400 people. So does this mean the airport is adding a large flight in the near future? No, not necessarily, but here's what we found out. A spokesperson for Boeing says the 777X was here on Tuesday for a test program across the Northwest. You may remember we first told you about the inaugural flight a few weeks ago out of Payne Field in Everett. Since then, it's flown to Central and Eastern in Washington. Boeing said the new airplane includes the best technology and new designs. A traditional airplane wing is made out of aluminum. The new 777X wing is much larger and lighter. It's made out of a carbon fiber composite. It's unlikely the 777X will be used for commercial flights, but there are plans designed for intercontinental missions, although Boeing still has to get federal approval. In the studio, I'm Tim Pham, KREM 2 News.